Class of 9:30 tonight.
Let's say, for argument's sake, you own one of the biggest fishing trawlers in the world, and you decide you want to go and fish in Australia, so you inquire about it, you advise the Australians know all about it for years. And then you finally arrive, and of course there's a bit of a kerfuffle because of the Greens, because of Greenpeace, because of horrible photographs of dead dolphins and seals. But they knew you were coming. So you arrive, and then all of a sudden the government changed the playing field and say, no, we're going to place special restrictions on you. And so you say, OK, that's fine. And you fly experts over and you start installing cameras in this huge boat. And then, just before you're ready to go, the government says, we're going to change the rules again. We're actually going to ban you for fishing for at least 2 years. And then you consult your lawyers. Let's talk to our politicians about this. Josh Frydenberg, Liberal MP, and Ed Husic, Labor MP. Morning to you both.
Morning.
Morning, Paul. Morning, Ed.
Josh, I'll start with you on this, because, I mean, it seems to me that this is all about politics. No one likes to see the corpses of dolphins. No one likes to see a huge ship apparently plundering resources. And you, presumably, don't like to see that either.
Well, look, I totally understand where the public's coming from. They don't want to see the government lock out many family fishermen and then invite in this super trawler. But let's understand that this problem is of the government's own making. In 2009, Paul, the government introduced a harvest strategy where it actually encouraged big vessels like this super trawler to come to Australia and to apply for a quota. And in the end, after scientific advice, they gave them a quota. Now there's a Get Up campaign and a Greens campaign, and, you know, Tony Burke and Joe Ludwig have gone weak at the knees. The truth is, you know, why has the government allowed this to continue for so long to get to this point and just to backflip again at the last minute?
Right,
this is a problem of their own making.
Does the coalition, or doesn't it, support the Abel Tasman fishing in our waters?
Look, we totally understand the concern of the public. I don't like it at all.
But do you support it? Does the coalition support it?
Well, we're going to have to see the legislation. That's the bottom line. You know, always the devil, Paul, with this government is in the details. So let's see the legislation. Let's go through the normal processes. But I don't like the idea of one massive super trawler coming to Australia and hoovering up fish.
I don't understand what legislation it is you want to see.
Well, they're saying they're going to pass legislation, so we need to see that legislation. It's obvious. But, you know, why is this an opposition issue? This is a government issue, Paul. This is the government's own 2009 harvest strategy which led to this situation. This is the government which is engaged in years and years of negotiations with this company.
All right. Ed, it just seems to me that this is the tail wagging the dog on this one. Your own experts, the government's own experts that we pay a lot of money for, have said there is nothing wrong with the activities of this trawler.
Well, that's not entirely the case. And the other thing is, too, I wouldn't be dismissive of the community concern on this, and just to put it down as something that the Greens and Get Up have been pushing. Because if I lived in Tasmania right now and fishing was my livelihood, a lot of those communities down there have been pretty uptight about this vessel coming in, being fixed in in one place with a net that's as big as the SCG ground. And basically, what impact does that have on fish stock? What does it do in terms of bycatch? It's a big issue.
So why were they given the OK by your government? Why were they given the OK to do it?
OK, what Tony Burke said is that effectively changing circumstances demand us to changing the law. And what he wants to put in place is an expert panel to be able to look at and advise the government on how to manage with this, new at the advent of a super trawler. How you actually manage that and what impact that has both on the environment but also on fishing communities. And as I said, this is a big deal to them. It's not just some sort of political debate. Right. This is about their livelihoods.
We may have to pay out compensation, though. Taxpayers may have to pay out compensation to this company, mightn't they?
Well, I think that's just speculation. I mean, we're just, basically going through now, seeing how we actually deal with this, with the advent, as I said, of super trawlers coming in, nets as big as the SCG. Yeah.
OK, very quickly on Twitter trolls. There's been an awful lot of talk about it. One of the leading dailies has a front page dominated by the claim that we should be changing legislation. People are up in arms. Don't the police, Ed, already have enough tools to deal with this?
Well, there is some concern that they don't, and the New South Wales government has asked that this be looked at. I mean, I think the great thing about Twitter is that it does provide people with access and an ability to communicate with a range of people and share ideas. I think that's great. My personal preference, Paul, is that Twitter grabs this by the horns and deals with it. Now, if you go to their support pages and you look at their help section, they do have things about abuse and how to deal with it, but their advice is, for example, talk to someone who's close to you. Now, they may not necessarily be tech savvy and able to help you, or they refer you to US government department sites to deal with it. I think they've got to actually look at things. For example, one of the ideas they could look at is having a reputational score. For instance, eBay does this. Whether or not the person that's following you is got a track record of being abusive, and letting people deal with this up front. But Twitter really should take control of it.
All right, quickly on this one, Josh, do you think it requires any further legislation or not?
Look, I think it should require further study about it, because clearly the current situation is unacceptable, and I understand that both Facebook and Twitter have been very reluctant to comply with the legislation in this regard, both American and Australian law. They haven't been prepared to put up the identities of the people who may have been engaged in this unlawful conduct. So we do need to do something. We also need to educate our younger people how they can block people, and to encourage them not to engage with vitriolic trolls on the internet.
Yeah, very good. Josh, Ed, thank you both very much for joining us. We'll catch you back again next week. Have a good week.
See you later.
See you.
Okay,
the Able Tasman is like a hot rock, and no political party wants to be left holding it.
No, it's got a span of something like 600 metres that it trawls. It's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, coming up after the break, we'll have the latest news, sport and weather just for you.
It's been shamefully handled.
There's nothing quite like falling in love for the first time.
He looks at you like he thinks you're unreal. He's so lovely.
8:30 tonight, a new love begins.
Want to kiss me?
Of course.
This may be the happiest day of my life.
Debbie's about to find out. Happiness can turn in the blink of an eye.
Probably the most mortifying experience of my entire young life.
Puberty Blues, 8:30 tonight on 10.
I'm a Mortgage Choice broker, so I have access to hundreds of home loan products from our lenders. Of course, you need just one that's right for you, quickly and easily. And that's where I come in. Mortgage Choice. Let's make the right move.
Australia's #1 bathroom cleaning product is Easy Off BAM Active Foam. Today, we put it to the test. First, the super wide foam spray covers large areas faster than traditional sprays. Then it clings to the surface to penetrate and dissolve soap, scum and dirt to make the toughest cleaning jobs a breeze. Put it to the test for yourself. Try Easy Off BAM Active Foam. Now also available in new antibacterial Lemon Zing. Brand Power, download your free app now.
Advanced Hair Studio now guarantees a result for hair loss. So whether you're starting to thin or if you're balding, Advanced Hair Studio's exclusive procedures can guarantee a result for hair loss.
Just like mine.
Call Advanced Hair Studio now.
Ever noticed most of us get a quote on something before we buy it? I mean, you wouldn't dream of hiring a tradie without getting a quote, or a gardener. You check for the best mobile plans. You all shop around for a better quote on, well, everything. So why then don't you get a quote on your electricity bill? Energy Quotes could help you find a better deal on your rising power costs, even if you're locked in or want to stay with the same provider. Get a new quote today. So call now on 1300 MyQuote.
I wish I was with Dodo. Dodo, internet that flies.
Unlimited ADSL, no shaping 24/7, only $49.90 per month. Call 13DODO today.
Unlimited. Connect yourself with Dodo.
DC's greatest characters, finely sculpted in metallic resin and hand-painted. Heroes and villains go head-to-head. The major pieces standing over 12 centimeters tall. The DC Chess Collection, out now.
Light and Easy's new spring menu is the most delicious way to lose weight and enjoy more free time. Full of fresh new tastes, everything is ready to serve in just minutes, so you can enjoy a simpler, healthier lifestyle. Order now at lightandeasy.com.au.
Summer is fun.
For over 40 years, Narellan Pools have been building Australia's most loved pools. Our expertise ensures that we will find the perfect pool for you. In fact, with over 30 shapes and sizes, we have the largest range in Australia. At Narellan Pools, we are your quality local pool builder. So visit us today at narellanpools.com.au for our spring promotion.
Summer is Narellan Pools.
Gungahlin Auto Group, experience and expertise you can trust, specialising in mechanical, electrical and air conditioning repairs. Whether it's a simple car service or major repairs, we'll look after you. Gungahlin Auto Group, next to the ramp under the car wash.
I'm a mortgage choice broker, so I have access to hundreds of home loan products from our lenders. Of course, you need just one that's right for you, quickly and easily. And that's where I come in. Mortgage choice. Let's make the right move.
It's great to have you with us. A lot of calls have been coming in on the Henry hotline about cigarettes and about 9/11 and whether it's time to walk away or not. We will have a listen to those shortly. First up, though, here's Natasha with the news.